YouTube, how is it going? It's Carl Trezo here, tarot reader, psychic medium, 16, 17 years. Okay, so I had a conversation today with a friend of mine who we were talking about unconditional love, and I was speaking about my experience of marriage and becoming a father that has been very complicated and messy and is a baptism of fire and is forcing me to step into my masculine energy and deal with some things I need to. And it's also forcing, the woman that I marry to step into feminine energy and mother. Um, I cannot uh, always. What's the word? I'm sometimes reluctant to speak about that the experience that I have because A, it's still within its process, and B, it's not always anybody's fucking business. But people like to project their own limited ideas on your life, and they can't see the vision or the fullness of the totality of your trajectory, your road, and what God is doing. Yeah. So when people sit there and say, it's not over till the fat lady sings, not the best expression in terms of being politically correct, but sometimes in the grand scheme of things, we need to have processes. Unconditional love is this, and this is what I was trying to say to my friend this morning, right? Is you may be pissed off, frustrated, angry, not want to speak to somebody, right? But your arms are still open. And you say, right, I need time, I need my own process, I need to deal with whatever. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to love you. And yes, within that is boundaries and self-respect and doing what you need to doing what you need to do for you, because that's also part of unconditional love. But when you stand, like when I got married and I stood in union and I said I do, right, through sickness and health, richness and poorness, till death do us part. Yeah, and I'm still alive and kicking despite people's attempts. I joke, but also kind of not. Hello to whoever is watching. So, you know, this card is the card of acceptance. And I think that, unconditional love is acceptance of people's messiness and their mistakes and the fact that, once again, we deserve love at every single piece and part of our process, and not conditions of, you didn't do this and this and this, so fuck you, goodbye. Because that's fear, that's control. True love is saying, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you're navigating, no matter what you're going through, right? I'm always going to love you. That's unconditional love. And listen, even the people that fuck me off and have hurt me within my life, right? There will always be a piece and part of me that can find compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance for who they are and where they're at. Because A, I am not going to live with resentment and bitterness within myself because of whatever somebody else is doing. It's not always that person's fault, right? That they can't show up to the table and love you in the way that you need. And you saying to them, well, you haven't showed up in the way that, I want. That's you putting conditional love on them. So you're not unconditionally loving them either. I think that it's a really difficult thing to do, but even if somebody really was, did something that was very painful, if they could show up and have a conversation and resolution was able to be reached, and forgiveness, that's when love, unconditional love, can be restored. And I think that no man should be left behind. Whew. Because life is hard, everybody is trying. And we need to know that we are loved unconditionally through and through. The person that's most in pain, that's most in darkness, that's most in shadow, that most lost, needs the most love. Sometimes you need accountability and boundaries, though, and to say to somebody, hey, I love you, but this ain't okay. And this, what you're bringing to the table, fuck off, you know? Because of self-love too, right? That's it. That's all I'm going to say. If anybody wants to work with me, carltrazlove.com. I'm rejigging some website stuff at the moment because I'm working out whether or not I just refine what I do to hour spaces, 2 hour spaces, and you can pick and choose from whatever modality you need. So I'm working that out at the moment. I might do that in the next 2-3 days, so look out for that. The other thing is, yeah, if you want to give for these videos, PayPal at Kyle Treslove. Every little helps. Let me tell you, I got a shit ton of things I need to pay. If you like what I do, if you want to support me, you know, I do a lot of work behind the scenes, energy work for the global grid, the global system. Please, you know, give. Like I would always say, remember, all is good, all is God, all is love. Until we connect again soon in a wonderful, beautiful bit.